And welcome to a Football Friday, high school style. Man, got a lot of great stuff coming up tonight we'll be talking about. And for a second straight week, my man Troy Drayton's with me. Troy, always great to have you, buddy.
How's
Appreciate
everybody?
it.
How's everybody out there? You all right?
We're ready. Hey, listen, it's alumni weekend. Troy and I are just talking between 80 and 100 Miami Dolphin alumni will be here for the weekend.
Yes.
We'll talk about the Charger-Dolphins game a little bit later on, but we got, and by the way, I haven't been to Southridge for a while, but this facility, you know this, Troy, we don't get a lot of this, but the facility, the football facility on campus is about as nice as we've seen anywhere in South Florida. Southridge got a beautiful football field here, building the program back up, and they got a district game with Norland tonight.
I'll tell you, this is definitely a great facility. One thing about it is a lot of the Miami-Dade schools do not have
– That's right.
They don't have stadiums on their campus or near their campuses, so a lot of them play their games at Trash Power and different places. So it's actually really nice that we can actually come here, and it's right next to the school. And, tonight is a great night for football. It's a beautiful night, no humidity. So it's going to be a great night for football.
This is getting to be the time why we go. This is why we live here, right? This is why we're down here, man, staying away from those hurricanes. We got a lot of stuff to get to. Southridge, of course, with the great tradition going back to their state championships and some of the best teams in the history of Florida football were here. Of course, Coach Heidelberg will join us a little bit later on from Norland. We'll talk to him about his teams. He's had some state championship teams, too. So tonight in the new districts, everything's been shuffled around. So we got a 6A matchup tonight, Southridge and Norland. Now, never thought I'd say that. Norland and Southridge, along with Berlin and Central in the same district. So we're going to talk to Coach Knight. We're going to bring him up here right now, the new head football coach at Southridge. Just talking to him a little bit as he tried to get this program turned back around, get it back on top and everything. So Coach Knight joins us. Coach, always nice to have you.
Hey,
Thank you so much for being with us.
I see you, Joe and Troy.
How you doing?
Talk a little bit. And, by the way, we're glad you like our shirts, man. We're going to work on trying to get you one. You like this no-collar look, Coach.
Yeah.
That ain't bad, right?
Size large.
It's large? Yeah. Not XL. You don't want it too baggy.
No.
So we'll get that. And we got the little windy here, so the play cards are flying around. Hey, Coach, what do you think of the new district, by the way, with Norland and Central and Berlin now? What'd you think?
I think it's going to be a little more interesting than in the past. But the only thing it takes away from the little rivalries that we used to have in the past with the Killians, the Homesteads, and the South Days, which made it more competitive. But I like the fact that we're playing these teams that we haven't seen before. It makes it real interesting.
You're gonna keep them on the other schools on your schedule?
Oh yeah.
Down here in
It's
important. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That brings in the money, the revenue.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, Coach, so tell us a little bit about your style of coaching and what we expect to see from your football team.
Well, my style of coaching is wide open. We do a variety of things. We're kind of diverse, The battle cry around here has been adversity. So we're trying to overcome a little adversity, try to change things up a little bit, and try to get back on the winning track right now.
Coach, talk about building a program back up, especially with all the new rules and regulations, to put it nicely, or whatever we're doing now in the Wild West called the state of Florida. And how it starts. You and I are talking a little bit about youth football and the kids in your backyard.
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of good youth programs around here, the Palmetto Raiders, which I'm affiliated with, the Ghouls Rams over here, and the Florida City Razorbacks. A lot of these kids are right in our backyard, and this is the genesis of our program. This is how you build the program. I tell everybody all the time that we have to start from the bottom and build up to the top. We can't just start trying to depend on kids to transfer in. Like you said, it's the Wild Wild West, and there is no rules.
That's nicely put. You're right.
So what is that the hardest part of your job is making sure that you're keeping all your kids within the district, or is it strictly you're just you're looking to start to groom that talent from Little League and different places?
Well, it's a little bit of both. We want to keep our kids in our backyard. We want to get those kids that are groomed in our program as well. But we welcome all comers too. So as we start building our programs, we know we're going to get people. We know people are going to leave. We know because of the rules change. It's a little more flexible for kids to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? But we're trying to keep our kids at home. Southridge has had a great storied tradition, starting with the '90s with the Davis boys and Coach Donnie Saunders. We spoke about this earlier. And, you know, and these kids, they need to learn a little bit more about the history of South Ridge and what's happening here.
By the way, one thing you got going for us, Troy and I were just talking about, facility connected to the school is about as nice. Your track along with your football field is about as nice as we've seen Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. It's got to be nice when you look around, and we talk about Travis Powell getting worn out with the amount of games played there. It's got to be nice to have it right here next to the school.
I really love it. We're blessed by the best with that. I remember many years ago when I attended Southridge, our home games were at Tropical Park when they had the overhang over there. Right. And it wasn't too great there. But I'm glad to see that we can walk out our back door and come right into these nice facilities right here.
How's confidence with your team as you're building it back up? Is it something you got to work on, or is it a pretty confident group?
I'm surprised it's kind of high, you know what I'm saying, with the start that we've come out with. I think they're high. But, you know, my kids never lack confidence right now. They don't lack confidence. We're just trying to get emotionally charged up and get ready for this game.
You know, one thing that I do know, Coach, is last year you had a Northwestern team go 5-5, or they were
2-5.
2-5, yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, at the beginning of the season, and then they ended up getting into the playoffs and running the show. You feel like your team can gain that confidence because it's about one game at a time?
It's funny that you say that. 2 Mondays ago, I used that same analogy with them. You know, we started off, Northwestern started at 2-5, and they ran the tape, and they gained a state championship. The record was ugly, but the victory at the end was very sweet, you know what I'm saying? But then again, you know, we didn't have a Tutu Atwell also, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
That's
one of the great turnarounds, though, no question, and what they're able to do going through Carroll City and Central to get there was very impressive. So Coach, tonight you open it up a little bit more. Anything different to look for tonight in this game?
Well, it's going to be a little bit different. I just started installing a little bit more of my offense as opposed to the offense that they were used to, slowing the game down a little bit as opposed to speeding it up. You know what I'm saying? I tell them all the time, we don't have to speed the game up because sometimes we speed the game up, we speed it up to give it back to the opposing team. Right. So we just want to be a little bit more disciplined and try to slow it down a little bit and think about what we're doing.
How hard is you take over for a guy that was let go, that a lot of people knew the name and stuff? Mm-hmm. Was it a difficult transition where you got to talk to kids, or how was it switching over?
It's been a tremendously difficult job as far as that. Matter of fact, him and I speak every day. We're good friends. We've grown up together. I've known him for many years. So my point to you is that, you know, it's an emotional drainage for the kids. You know, just getting them over that hurdle alone. You know, once we get them over that hurdle alone, I know we can do very positive things. But that was the hardest part right there. Just getting them over that hurdle right there. Yeah.
What do you think is going to help get them over the hurdle? Is it their confidence? Is it just being comfortable with you, or is it just become comfortable with understanding and knowing Southridge and the history and making sure that they can carry on that tradition? Is there any pressure to do that?
No, I just think a win will help right now. Yeah. So when you're 0-4, a win will help right now. And I think, you know, as far as the tradition is concerned, a lot of them know the tradition. You know, some of the football players are on the JV. They're related to some of those people that were part of the storied tradition, so they know the history.
Do they feel any pressure to perform up to what the standards have been set, or do they understand, you know, the situation that they're going through?
I don't think they feel pressured at this point.
Okay.
Maybe earlier, not at this point. Yeah. You know, like I'm saying, you know, right now we're trying to get the train back on the track right now. Right. So we're taking a positive view on things, but, you know, we have short-term goals and long-term goals. Right now, our short-term goals is to win one play at a time and just try to win this game. And then let's go see. Right now, I'm telling them, okay, we're 0-1 in the district right now. Okay, this is our second district game. Right. We have a shot. And because of the point system, we have a real good shot.
That's
right.
You
know what I'm saying? We have a very tough schedule.
It's not about record. That's right. Coach Knight, thank you so much, man. Yeah, really appreciate you being with us.
Coach, it's always a pleasure.
Thanks a lot. Good luck with everything going forward and the job ahead for these high school coaches, by the way, because it's not just the coaching, it's the babysitting, it's the counseling, it's the whole work.
Security guard, all that.
Yeah, that's right. Coach, thank you so much. I appreciate you being with us here.
Appreciate it.
As we continue on here, and we're going to go ahead and bring in Coach Heidelberg over here. Coach Heidelberg's been at Norland for a while.
Forever.
We've won some state championship games. He's been around to see it. Coach, nice to see you, man. Grab the mic. Glad to see you still surviving, coaching around. How you holding up, man?
Hey, man, I'm holding up well, man. You know how it is.
You know, I was going to ask you. I used to always say, I go, man, Norland got Carroll City, Central, and Northwestern. We used to call it the most difficult district in the state, if not the country, going through that group. And through different parts of your coaching, you've had great success.
Right.
You've had very competitive games, but as you know, that's a beast to get through, and you guys know each other's kids are so close.
Yes.
What was that like going through that, and how happy are you to be in a new district?
Yeah, well, you're right about that. I mean, I got a few extra grades, for over the past 4 years, being in that district. But like I tell anybody, what that district did is prepared our kids for college, for the next level.
Right.
And I have so many kids playing in college. A couple have made it to the NFL now.
Right.
But it started from playing in that district because those schools also had prominent players and kids also going to college. So, it turned into a little JUCO game almost, you know.
Right. It's been great for you. I know you're talking about so many guys in the NFL. Norland's kind of that school underneath, and you're going, wow. Every week I get ready for a game, I go, man, that guy went to Norland, Everybody thinks it's a Duke Johnson thing, but there's been a lot of guys go through there have been great players.
Yes, I mean, we have the last one this year was fourth round, Vashawn Joseph, he's with the Bills.
But Eric Antonio, you've had some great ones go through there.
Antoine Bonds, Dwayne Bowe.
Oh, yeah, that one too. Forgot about those teams. Those are fun teams to watch too. So, Coach, you've been through it. Talk about trying to build it back up now. What needs to be done?
I'm staying the course. I mean, there's a lot of coaches that they're trying with the 1 year wonder, the get rich quick scheme, and that's not what it's about for me or my program. I want to continue to get kids in college. I think last year I got like 14 out of my 18 seniors. So I tell them, signing day is the most important day of the season for me. And once the kids, I love my college ticket to try to catch these guys on, I got a couple guys on, UAB. I'm watching all type of games that.
You got a proud father, man, watching them all play.
So how many games do you feel like you watch during the course of a Saturday?
I honestly maybe I try to get about 6 different games, that I'm trying to watch. And I'm communicating with the kids, man, hey, man, I seen you miss that play, or that was a great catch, or or your time's coming, hey, make sure the coach gets some water, man. I trained you well.
Right.
So for people out there who don't know you, what is a staple of a Heidelberg football team?
We're going to play hard. We're going to play fast. We're very physical, sometimes too physical. My kids think that they're 1999, 2000 UM. But, I don't want to take that edge away from them, because that's just how they are. And like I said, with the district we're playing in, it's kind of a fight fire with fire type of thing. So, you guys know, you guys play, you can't, be just a doormat of the district. So, we're going to play hard, go hard.
Coach, you got maybe the best left tackle in the country, the state, Isaiah Walker. Everybody talks about him. So how good is he?
He is
when
awesome.
People start talking about that, you're like, whoa.
That kid is awesome. But it's a tribute to his work ethic. He has put in the work. To this day, he still gets up, runs before school. He hits the block before school, just jogging.
Good kid to coach, though.
Great kid to coach.
To be around.
Great attitude. Like I say, he's been in the program all 4 years. So I've watched his development. I watched him in the weight room. From losing the baby fat to actually, just so many things that I'm proud of. Just his box jump going up.
Yeah.
Things people that you don't see if you just get these kids for 1 year. I've watched this kid.
That's nice.
Now it's how many times can he do 225? I think he's at 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
But I remember he couldn't do it at all.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about for me, man, in my program. Just the development of these kids, and I'm going to do it.
How hard is it to keep kids together on teams with the way that the ruls are?
It's almost impossible.
Keep them for 4 years.
It's impossible. I think so many kids right now with the internet and the Instagram and things like they're so caught up in the immediate success, but they don't have a plan for themselves. Like on my team, I think I got 55 guys, and I think I have we counted it the other day in the weight room. I think I have like 50 guys out of the 55 that have they're seniors or juniors and they've all been at Norland the whole time.
Well, that's great.
Winning, losing, it's a pride thing with my team. You know, if we all lose, you know, we all win, and you know, like I said, that's just how I like to have it. I mean, I have that relationship with my parents, like I said, because these are still kids.
That's right.
At the end of the day, they're still kids. They need to be groomed and groomed and things like that.
Right.
You know, then when I release them to the universities, hopefully they can go represent me well. I mean, I have good relationships with coaches. I've been at Norland for a couple of years, so I know a lot of coaches. You know, you guys, you know, we go way back.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, you know,
been on the sideline
right.
and coat and tie watching you, Coach. Everybody, I'm the greatest front runner going, man, when you guys are good. Let me ask you about your youth football program. A lot of people say your backyard is about as rich as any, but obviously everybody likes to get in there and dip into
some of our youth football games, you'll see it's like we're colleges recruiting the kids.
That's right.
And that's what I do now, because I think that is where the recruiting should happen.
Correct.
At the Optimist level, you know, getting the kids to get in your program and then develop those kids. So I'm for all coaches, you know, coming over to my neighborhood, I'll go to your neighborhood, because we're trying to get those 8th graders, you know, and that's fine. You know, do that to the best of your ability. It's just I have a problem when it becomes your 11th grade year and
you know,
man.
I've been saying this, and Troy, I don't know if you agree. I'd like to allow them one transfer, but I don't know about
the 3.
We got a really good player in South Florida. I don't want to say any names because you know they're kids.
Right.
3 high schools in 3 years. He's a junior. He's one of the best players in South Florida. But how three high schools in 3 years?
And also it's parental. You know, you cannot overlook the parental aspect of it. You know, what are they looking for? You know, what are they trying to get out of you know, from the kid? You know, are they helping? That and that's, they don't understand that kind of sets the programs back. When, you know, not just my program, but any program, if you've had a guy in your program who's been here and you're leaning on him and the offenses or the defense is tailored to him, you know, you play, you know, you had them plays with a tight end. We got to get it to him. Now, if I'm running that type of pro-style system, which I do a lot, but now you take my tight end, it alters what I have to do. And just people like that, you know, on the outside, not in the sports world, they don't understand things like that. But I mean, hey, it's like I said, I enjoy what I do.
I've been doing it for a long time. Coach, it's great to see you around. I really appreciate you joining us.
I appreciate y'all guys. When they told me I was coming, man, they told me Joe Rose and Church interviewing me. I was like, are you serious?
Coach Heidelberg, you've been one of the best, man. You've always been great to us, so we appreciate it. We do.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys having me, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Rose.
Coach Heidelberg from Norland High School in the new district, a big district game tonight in the new district with Southridge down here, so going to be a lot of fun.
Let me say one thing.
Talking to those guys, isn't it?
That man is he is a great coach. I mean, his kids respect him. The parents, you see the relationship that he has with his parents, and talking about his left tackle and saying that his left tackle's been there for 4 years and he's one of the best or the best left tackle in the state. That's a testament to the man that Coach Heidelberg is. And you know, he's going to continue to grow that program, and I know that they're in a new district. But
which I think is good for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Get away from Central Northwestern. That's a pit bull. Man, those two are. Listen, they're probably 2 of the top 3 teams right now in South Florida, along with St. Thomas Aquinas. So good for them. Good fresh start for them. Hey, Troy, you ready to switch over?
Yeah.
We got a few minutes left, and we got all this high school stuff. And listen, we do our high school football Friday every Friday night. We love it. We're in Palm Beach. Great game last week. Chaminade comes back and beats Atlantic, the top team in Palm Beach, and we get to see it every week. But we also have a game on Sunday. The Miami Dolphins, who played great in the first half against the Cowboys, now back home. Against the least talented team, in my opinion, but yet still very talented, L.A. Chargers.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on getting better every week and got to win a game here at some point?
I think it's a week to week, practice to practice, play to play type of deal. We all know that you have to play 4 quarters. You can't play one great half, and then the second half you kind of implode. So I think for this Miami Dolphin team to get their first win, they got to put together 4 quarters of football, and we're talking about offense, defense, and special teams. They can't make very many mistakes. They almost have to be perfect.
Can't drop balls.
Can't
fumble. Yeah, no, I agree. They had left a lot of points in the first half. Actually had 3 great drives last week. You almost forget about it, Troy, when you see the final score, but they had 3 great drives a week ago and only able to get 2 field goals. And, you got to drop touchdown in the end zone, but you got to score every one of those opportunities if you're going to beat anybody in any of these games coming up.
And when you look at the whole deal, I think we saw some great things from Josh Rosen. We saw some pretty good things from him.
I agree.
And he was aggressive. And to me, that was the first time watching him and him playing carefree football. And that's what I like to see. But I think he's now really getting the evaluation that we expect him to get because he's now the starter. And hopefully he can hold on for that starting position because you always got your second string quarterback breathing down your neck, who's a guy who's been in the league for a number of years, but more importantly, he's a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of snaps under his belt. And, God forbid anything happened to Josh Rosen, who you want to see do well. You're pulling for a guy like Josh Rosen, but you also know that you have a backup quarterback to help him.
Well, it's going to be interesting because it is Josh Rosen time, and I agree. By the way, a stat that blows my mind? The Dolphins have thrown more 40-yard passes than anybody else in the NFL. You kind of forget, but one thing we do when in doubt, we throw it deep. To one side or the other going deep, man. Pick your favorite guy, whether it's Williams or Parker, we're going deep to somebody.
Absolutely. But you know what? Honestly, that backs a lot of teams off a little bit. You know what I mean?
I think it's great.
It backs them off.
Some people are saying
because that's probably more shots than we've taken downfield in this year, the first 3 games or 3 or 4 games, than we have seen in the last
I agree.
3 years of this football team.
That's right. Ryan Tannehill, used to like throw it underneath and control drives, and here we are, man. We are airing it out and having fun. I would say this. I think you'll agree. We got to get our young core that we're counting on. It's going to be around here to be more consistent in their play.
Yes.
Whether I don't know, there's a theory. I don't know if you agree. You get dragged down by guys next to you that aren't as good, and it affects people. It's all connected. But we got to get those guys somehow playing more consistent.
I think the team has to be consistent. But when you mention the cornerbacks, one thing that I want to see is the Miami Dolphins establish a true running game. I mean, I think Balaj is a guy that can tote the ball 25 times a game and soften teams up in the middle. And then you can give Kenyon Drake the ball a little bit, throw him some screens, get him out in space because that's where he's dangerous. So I think we're working towards that.
Yeah.
I think our offensive line is a work in progress.
Correct.
Because we continue to add pieces there. You see us, we're awarded players. We're scouring the waiver wire to make sure that we get players to solidify our offensive line.
That's right.
But ultimately, they have to come together. They have to get snaps together, and they have to have confidence. And
it takes a while to get. You can't just throw 5 guys together. We did pick up 2 offensive tackles this week. Jesse Davis, we're hoping we're going to find out will play back. He's an important guy that I think fits into the future as well. So want to get him back there, get Michael Dieter hopefully back to left guard.
Yeah.
And go from there. So, I do feel like everybody's picking up the system better. I see they're finally getting – I think the coaches, by the way, this is important, but this first time for a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, head coach. So everybody, for a lot of guys, this is the first time. And a lot of guys that aren't used to playing this much football are playing a lot of football.
And I think we've had some challenges with this team. I mean, when Coach Caldwell was pretty much handpicked by Coach Flores, and Coach
loss.
Flores is, Coach Caldwell is out sick. Hopefully he gets through his health issues and get back with this football team because I think he can really help kind of settle things down. But also I think he's a confidant for Coach Flores, and I'm sure they're communicating. They may have weekly phone calls. Who knows? But at the end of the day,
I think you're right on the money.
I think Coach Caldwell is a big factor when it comes to the development not only of your quarterbacks but your offense as well.
Yeah. Well, listen, it hasn't been pretty for 2.5 of the games. Everybody knows that outside the first half with the Cowboys. but you feel like they're going to get better, even with some really good guys that are no longer with the team through the trades that have been made. But you feel like it is going to get better, and they're going to become more competitive, and they're going to get a win against somebody coming down here, down the road. We got the Redskins at home, Cincinnati, the Jets twice,
Buffalo,
the Giants, Buffalo. And by the way, so yeah, there's going to be some chance they are getting better, staying confident, and it's been tough. Listen, Troy, I know you and I have privately talked. I think it's been the first couple of weeks tough for everybody when you lose the way they have.
I think it's not only tough for the team, it's tough for business, but it's also tough on the fans. I mean, the fans are
fairness to them.
The fans, they
them at the top.
But there's a high expectation, and I think coming in, Coach Flores understood what the process was, and he's sticking to the process. And I have nothing but love and respect, because you're going to go through more tough times than good times rebuilding a football team. And at the end of the day, I know our fans. I've been down here in South Florida since 1996. We're not the most patient people in the world, because we expect excellence. And when you look at this franchise and the tradition of this franchise, that's what this team has to measure up to. Is the championship quality in all the things that we do, all the things that are done or have been done before them. The fans want to continue to hold
I hear it,
that
Troy.
bar very high.
I hear it in the morning. What took place in the 70s and 80s made it put a lot more pressure, and even some of the teams in the 90s. So
absolutely,
there's been plenty of Brady Belichick frustration around here on the run that the Patriots have had, and hopefully the Dolphins are going in the right direction. But patience is a hard word for everybody. I want to let you know it's not just fans that are watching us right now. It's been for everybody, and hopefully we're going to do it. But anyway, another high school football Friday night. Get out to your local high school, man. Get out and watch your community school that's playing around it, or maybe a high school you went to tonight. And the districts, of course, have all been changed. Norland and Southridge down here. Southridge, by the way, Troy, I know you get around a lot more than I do, but the facility down here is just absolutely gorgeous. But, Troy, it's always great being with you, man.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. Troy Drayton with us. It's great being with you. Enjoy your night. Dolphin fans, hang in there, and thank you so much for being with us for another high school football Friday evening.